Greetings. Welcome to Legacy of Worlds. I am Tomekeeper Devon, and I just want to take some time to thank those who make this show possible. Hero Forge, WizKids, KP11 Studios, Foambrain Games, and of course, Lynn Vander themselves. But now, the adventure and the stories unfold. With the balance card finally retrieved and the creature of unknown origin and alien enigma has been absorbed into it, you are still in the caverns beneath Candlekeep with a clam that used to be a ghost dragon.
Oh,
So
both deal with that.
I'm gonna.
Can I?
Yeah.
Boom before. So I'm saying, Merrick's was about to take a turn right after Elise, and so I just want to just quickly say what was going to happen there, which is after helping Elinder and seeing that you were going away, Merrick's again was quite confident we needed to get the card. She's in there. She's gonna get the card. Situation is basically taken care of. So in fact, he simply had shifted his clothes. You know, getting bored of that outfit. I'm wearing shift weave. And taking out a sensory stone to catch the pop as the creature dissolved. It was just like, yeah, there we go.
Very good.
So I'm holding a dissolving...
Which is just Bobo sitting on his butt covered in slime going.
I mean, it is. That is good. And of course, the part that you see a surprise on his face is that basically I'm like, oh yeah, we got this. Here it goes, and then low hold on his butt, and he is like, where'd she go? Because that was a piece I was not expecting. But yeah, no, we're definitely zooming in on that. That's the new Chimeris. When we get back, I got to put a note in my book to remember that it's oozy low hold.
Yes,
But
To anyone who I've shot, I'd like to sincerely apologize for, well, everything.
are you okay?
No, I've never had my mind affected to that degree before.
No, actually, don't. No, never mind.
we don't have that level of relationship yet.
I mean, again, Merrick's is not usually very serious, but I mean, he is right there by you. He just and he is like, he does just hold out a hand, like to put a hand on your shoulder, but he's sort of like, you want a hand on your shoulder or not?
Sure.
Like, he just puts a hand on your shoulder and just says, yeah, we've been through a lot. And I know you've been through, it seems to me like you've been through a lot on your world. And I'm just saying, well, we keep going.
You're not even the first kidnapping I've had.
Oh, well.
But
Oh,
but we're good. Is what I'm saying. I'm just glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, of course.
We know you didn't do that against your will.
Well, we know you did do that.
Willing, sorry.
Well, let's get out of this place.
Yeah, you got a clan to take care of. Are you gonna keep her?
No, I'm gonna dimension door us all using Elminster's ever-smoking pipe back to where we teleported in, just down in the Underdark below. And then I can let the concentration go.
Yes.
Sentinel Worm will be back on station. And back not being...
Oh, we didn't even get the chance to talk to her.
Later.
probably best.
Later.
We will let her calm down a bit after
Yeah.
all the things that she's did through.
It's quite possible that that effect has been going on for a long time, and more importantly, probably has affected others too.
Actually, that's a pretty basic question. Just standard. I don't know if you want investigation or arcana, but I'm really good at both. Talking to you very quickly, what about the state of decay on those books? Do you have can we basically sort of analyze, entropic effect, we were seeing how that was going. The books seem like they've been aged about X amount. How long do we think it's been going on? That's some Sherlock shit right there.
Several days at least. Definitely roughly around the time the magic started to go haywire.
Okay, we gotta save the multiverse.
There you go.
Yeah, let's save the
It
multiverse.
appears that all of the places that are getting affected by this,
Yeah.
the longer we wait, the
Yeah.
more damage
Yeah, we gotta
is being
keep
done
moving.
to the worlds that we have not been to yet.
Okay, so I will then take us to that cavern with the dim door. Then we use the portal. Let's go back to my tower, and I'll use the south terminus by Niraman's Mill. And then we'll just stroll along this nice forest path, and I will say, Elise, if you use your broom, you come back to these, and
Oh, she did.
it's about as big as these two tables put together, flagstones, just out in there's bushes around them, and there's tall grass and weeds growing between the flagstones. And I said, if you lift that one there, there's probably some healing potions and stuff, because that's where she kept her stash.
Are any of you still in pain? I'm in a small amount, but I can deal with it.
Well, I was just covered in bile. And that's
necrotic dragon breath. Yeah, that was an ouch.
Like 3 of us are. Like,
yeah.
3 of us.
yes.
I wasn't in range of my own healing. It's true when I threw that at you. So.
Oh, I have more at the tower. I'm just saying, if you ever come back here with the broom, that's the flagstone you
Good
should
to
be.
know. Thank you very much.
I imagine we'll be taking a nap soon, if I may, and I'm going to use a 5th level Cure Wounds on Hope.
What am I? Chopped liver? I have 11 hit points.
You have you're worse off. Okay.
I'll get to her. You take care of Lobo.
Heal the cleric.
Just start going.
Heal the cleric.
I have been inside the stomach of this thing for 11.
I didn't realize you were. I just remember that.
It makes
I got
sense for
this.
you to heal the cleric.
I've fixed her before.
Well, we're both going to heal both of you.
I can give myself a little. I'm not that kind of cleric.
came out
Haven't you seen that?
Well,
I mean, honestly, you know what? Screw you all. We're about to take a nap. And then I'll just put all 700 hit points into No, everybody. Yeah, no, everybody's healed.
good. So
I have 700 hit points to disperse.
Hey, I did that earlier.
There you go.
That's a hell of a spell.
It's my 9th level.
Mass cure.
Oh, but as I do it, you see my heart like light flickers as
I mean, I appreciate that. I'm pretty sure that's stable, but we gotta keep an eye on that. Like that
Do
flicker.
you feel any different after using such a spell?
tired
Temporarily? Or...
temporarily.
Okay.
Thank you, Andrew.
Oh, of course.
Thank you, Elise.
Full set of tools under the tower.
Well,
Also a forge, but it's cold.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about
I'd love
any
to
of
check
you.
that out. I mean, again, I can work during the long rest, so.
I don't know about
Oh,
any-
there's something I've been wanting to do. I think actually you can help me with this when we get there.
You don't know what?
I don't know how you all feel, but normally I don't feel tired or I don't feel hungry, but I feel this earns us a little reprieve and maybe perhaps a quick drink and a food and a little more merriment to get us through to the next stage.
Do you drink alcohol?
I can.
Self request.
Benefit of our order. We do not prevent you from enjoying the.
And if you don't want to drink it, you could just pour it into the bathtub and swim in it.
That's
So,
yes, I would never tried that. Is that good for your skin?
I don't know.
Why do you think these elves all glow?
I don't know where you are all at, but I hate to say it.
In the
Universe
stomach
is,
of a-
exactly.
creature.
Universe, we gotta go as fast as we can, but also I need to take a little break here. I think as we are resting, we can figure out where we're going next. But I mean, I hope it's okay with you. I would love to have a nice meal and figure out how we can prepare our tools, where we're going to go. In fact, if we decide now where we're going to go, maybe we can do a little research in your library, and I mean your library, because that place is.
We know we've got both the cards on each of these worlds.
Yeah.
Toril, Eberron,
But we're good taking a night in the.
Should we do a reading and decide where we're going to go?
Before we do, I do have perhaps a slightly obvious question to those who've been traveling with you for a long time. How many cards are there total, and how many do you already have?
Like we know.
Well,
Excellent question.
it is an excellent question.
I would say, in terms of cards in the deck, it can vary.
She didn't
I
just
brought
randomly
this
have the
deck.
deck handy to her. She brought it with them.
Yes.
So how many cards
it would,
did
at
she have?
minimum, it would have had 22, because that's at least, I guess not minimum, but it would have had 22. 22 is the general number that there are. There are occasionally other cards intermingled in there, but they're not the ones that are known to be like
Not
the
to
big
hold you
ones.
to anything that may happen in the future,
Or is it 26?
But it's But do I have the idea that it will be the 26, or that it will be more?
It was a full set.
Okay,
So, yeah.
How
So
many
it would
do we
have been.
currently have?
we have 10,
In your possession, or the ones including the one that Merrick has?
including the one we have 10.
Of course. And you could have 12
Sets.
more. We know
Well, we could have
We
16.
could have 16. We can have 16 more. And I think I have the feeling that if we had 16 more, we might be able to use those 16 to pull the rest to us to do the ritual. Or maybe we'll have to continue on and find
you know
more
what?
cards. I don't know.
Yeah. You would need the core set.
Okay.
If you have the core set, then you'd be good to go.
So we need to find the rest of these cards, at least the ones we know of. We know for a fact that there are more cards than we know the locations of.
Right.
So we need to at least get the ones we know the locations, and then maybe after I get those, I can concentrate and figure out if we have enough or if we need to continue to do more.
How
Yeah.
do we know where the locations are remaining?
Remaining, we have one more in Mystara. We have 2 in Krynn. We have 2 in Aebrynis. And 1 more in Athas.
16 cards. 16 cards we know the locations of, either because they're with us
Or out there.
or out there.
So we need to find them. And so we can decide, should I do a reading and figure it out? Or does anybody have an idea of where they want to go?
Perhaps the reading will tell us which is the most dire of places.
Does anybody want...
That would be a good question.
I'm very
Can I do it?
weary. Yeah. How do you want?
All right.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Goosebumps.
Push your tray up.
I hate this.
Okay.
Elixir.
We have the elixir of life. Learn the truth. Now, that is the card that came up last time with Candlekeep. And a healing energy out of place. I think that we are looking for a place that will actually give us more life than take it away. We are looking for the Talons card, and I'm feeling a pool.
Which card?
Talons.
Talons. What does it do?
Well, when it's drawn, the Talons card disintegrates all items on your person.
Sweet. This is why you don't want to
go somewhere else.
deck. I'm just saying you may not want to pull from the deck That's why Dr. Doofus was a doofus.
And where's the Talon's card located?
That is in Mystara.
So we don't want to go there because we want to go to a place that gives us more life than takes. And this sounds
Yes,
like
and so
stinky
we
part of
want
the
to go someplace that's giving us life. So I'm not thinking that this represents talons, even though the owl has talons. We also have the healing energy card that is out of place, which makes me feel like perhaps we want to go to a place that is going to maybe the energy is being sucked out even more, which makes me feel like maybe going back to Athas.
Well, I know the names of next to none of these places, but just the one. But it makes me wonder. We've seen how dramatic the changes have been from place to place. I've only been on, the known world, and this with the both of you.
These imaginary shadows cast of your true only world. Yeah.
So it begs the question, what were these places like before? Was there one known that gave comfort, that gave life? Because that's the one probably being disturbed in that degree.
I will tell you one thing that I am feeling right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the healing energy and you focus on the card, you can see that as it is being shown, you are seeing this force of power in a sphere headed towards this tree, inverted tree. And I feel that this is calling to me that this is a force of energy that is headed towards a forest. And we know that on Krynn, there is, the card is located in the Elvish forest of Silvanesti. So I'm thinking this sphere and force may be representing the card, and the card is the comet card.
Which card?
I like that.
So maybe it's that. This one is a little tougher than all of the easy rest of them.
I mean, it had to happen sooner or later.
But I will say that is probably where I'm feeling it the most.
No, I feel you've got life, again, elixir of life, healing energy. That still feels like sure an elven forest.
Elven forest.
Even the owl kind of.
What do we know about the Silvanesti? Have you been there before?
I've been to Krynn. I did not spend any time in that forest, no.
You could consult Maple's notes.
Oh, Maple's notes. That's right. We do have Maple's notes. And I will open up Maple's notes, sure.
I like the idea
I've
that
never
now we discover, oh wait, there's a second, page in there that's like, oh, these are an analytics of all the different weapons dealers.
These are all the souls I've collected from Krynn. Oh, no, never mind here.
Silvanesti is the elven homeland, which is now called the Bleeding Wood. It was when the when the armies of the evil dragon queen Athas invaded. It was attempted to be saved by using an orb of dragonkind. It has now become a nightmarish place filled with cracked, rotting trees and evilly twisted, gnarled roots.
A place of healing and life turned into...
Look at the tree upside down with all of the roots.
Yep.
It's being sucked out.
So Krynn it is.
Yes.
Yes?
Feels something else.
Yes.
Logical choice.
Yes.
That is where
Could I get your help on something this evening?
Sure. As long as I have long enough to have a long rest.
Oh, you sure do. No, I mean, this will just be I only need your help for a little bit of it. May I borrow a moment for a montage?
Absolutely.
So as long as we are doing our rest, Merrick's is going to go downstairs with Mystara. And basically ask first, you see the scene where it is Merrick's describing something, like, sort of saying, nodding, and, we're drawing out a couple plans. You're getting something from your various vaults, some sort of rare metal or something, and, then we're, like, kneeling over the forge, and there's flames, and there's fire, and doing things, and then finally, at the very end, it's a tiny little pipe, which he hands to Stinky.
Oh.
And so I'm just upgrading Stinky to the next level. Now, at some point, we are going to have to reveal the fact that Merrick's is going to obviously come in to introduce this, because now he's sitting there smoking his tiny little pipe, which is curling around him. He has a small action figure of Elminster that has been sort of also built up with, metal and leather, but it has it's a small Elminster that been riding on his
It's a
shoulder.
doll.
Action figure.
Yeah.
It's a doll.
And so in your world, you don't worship mortals that have ascended to immortality. No, of course not.
I mean, have you seen what he can do? But yeah.
Nobody worships me.
Anyhow.
You've got a fan.
Yes, that's right. Me.
Oh yes, the doll. is alive.
Okay, I'm going to get a spare ever-smoking pipe out of my thingy and tuck it in my belt pouch, and I'm going to get a spare ring, a ring of spell storing out of my thing, and put it in my belt pouch, not on my finger.
All right. Pull your finger.
Any chance I could use your library?
Sure.
Okay.
The books that are chained up on that wall,
Mhm.
best to ask them first if they want to be read.
Appreciate it. Of course. Is there any other books I also need to ask, or are they all?
No,
Or,
go nuts.
Oh.
The players are over there.
Could I, by the way, again, and if the answer is no, you didn't say it at the time, I'm totally okay with it, but just asking since we were there and he was even there, could I have scooped up some of the stomach acid from the creature that was all over
I feel like you can do that right as of now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is I would definitely be like, oh, you gotta at least take a sample of that, and then we'll prestidigitation.
Tastes
all
like
of that
stomach
out.
acid.
But,
You put the last Tam in there.
I did.
Oh, we can't Tam slam.
You can break it out.
No.
I was
We'll get more
holding it
Tam-Tams.
for
We'll get more Tam so we can Tam slam. All right.
or Tim Tam, maybe.
Tim.
Yes, of course.
that.
That was Merrick's move.
So
Yes, exactly.
It's the Imarian branded version. Tam.
Tam-Tams. As part of my long rest, one thing I would like to do is use Elminster's library to go and see if I can research a little more on the Grim Horror.
Ah, yes. They did seem rather out to get you.
Yeah, especially now that I am the head of my order, it becomes very, very prudent to me that we have an entire collection of people hell-bent on attacking us. So much so that they even weren't going after the cards. They're like, oh, screw the cards. Let's go after this one guy on the entire battlefield. So as a way to understand my enemy and also protect the rest of my acolytes, my little trainees, I would like to see if there's anything that can mention.
Sure. You can give me a history check with advantage. Since you have access to many books of arcane lore.
Plus one
I
history.
haven't been an acolyte since the year 261 DR. It feels sort of nice.
Okay, so with advantage, so that first one was a 16. 15, so 16.
16. Event, you do kind of look around at the books and you finally find one that you pull off and have to blow the dust off of it and very carefully open. And there is a reference, but there isn't much. They don't appear to be an organization that gets around a lot, or if they do, they don't get a lot of people writing about them. But it tells about there are a few accounts of them arriving whenever the skull card is known to be drawn. They seem to be drawn
To the skull.
to the skull card when it itself is drawn. Everywhere that any time a Reaper of Death, an avatar of death itself, has manifested through the use of drawing that card, they have quickly followed after. It seems they intend to destroy all traces of every card from every deck of many things across the multiverse in an effort to free themselves of their curse. You also find reference that there was once a land of fairy that was quite beautiful before they went there and slaughtered every single resident and turned it into their own hideaway.
Does it mention specifically what that land's name is?
It is now called the Gardens of Decay. It is unknown what it was referred to as before that, at least according to your research.
Got it. And then the main thing he's also looking for, though, is any relation with them and the Solar Bastion.
There's only one passage where it says, the only reason that they believe that these forces have not entirely succeeded yet is due to the efforts of the Solar Bastion.
They believe that.
That's what whoever wrote this book
okay,
believes. But there is no other mention that you can find in the time you've spent.
Got it.
Perhaps if you had days to check every book, you could find more, but that is what you managed to find.
Got it. Okay. He finally closes the book. Well, that is one more additional thing to worry about.
It is worth mentioning you found that information in a book on Toril.
Yeah. What, does it?
I'm just saying, because that seems to be what we're doing right now.
Does it? Is there an author mentioned on there?
Oh, Volo.
That guy.
That guy gets around, so you know.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's fair.
All right. Thank you. No,
I tend to think all my Volo books would be in a separate room.
That's the first.
That's why it's covered in dust. You just I don't need to read that.
Yeah.
I feel like we had two things. Again, as long as we are here at a moment, I would first say having got Stinky, and help put Stinky away again. I don't want to creep you out. I mean, it's a little
fine.
weird.
It's not the worst thing I've seen.
But again, we're taking a long rest. We're probably resting a little before we can take a long rest because
Yeah, you're gonna have some downtime. Yeah.
So, I mean, Merrick's would certainly just want to actually know more about Elender. Just, you know, I've never been to your world before. I mean, and we don't have to go into it right now, but I'm just saying I would want to share stories, you know, tell you more about us if you have questions, learn more about you. But what I'm saying is we have some time, I would do that. But I feel we had an unanswered...
It was when her voice changed suddenly.
Yeah. Right. I was not going to bring that up until the rest of you were asleep because. Well, but yes, it was quite noticeable, the sudden and drastic departure of accent.
What are you talking?
Lovo will not be involved in the conversation. He's going to go out to the landscape and just breathe the Toril air. He always considers Elminster like a Merlin to an Arthur. So the fact that he's in Elminster's home, he wants to enjoy the sky, enjoy the stead, and just breathe the weave.
A nice whiff of the farm air.
It's fine by him. I'm a farmer, so he'll stab his sword into the ground and just kneel by it and concentrate and focus on Thalagrantis. I've never seen it. If you want to come back to me, I'll...
Okay.
Not Thalagrantis, sorry. Chrymaris. I'm
Got it.
trying to speak to Chrymaris. To the sword.
Can we, just to wrap this up then, what I would say is Merrick's would certainly come to you at some point, and I'm, you know, it could be finding you, or it could be we are sitting in a room having tea. And what I would basically just say is, you know, it came up earlier about the memories. All I was trying to find was the memory of the card that was drawn, and you determined for us that's not necessary, but knowing that you do have things you can't remember, the only question then, as
do you wish to remember?
I would understand if you wouldn't, but
I do not wish to remember.
Then think with the others. What much to get?
You know what I went through. You know what my previous life was. It should have been just left there. But now that I am here, and I know I can do good for the universe, perhaps it is good that this was done to me, but it should never have been done, and I do not want to remember those times.
Are you sure you're not walking the path to immortality yourself? Because it does sound like that, you know, reinventing yourself, leaving the old ways behind, becoming somebody new.
This is a new concept to me. I have become somebody new.
I have to say, knowing what you've been through and you knowing what I've been through, I personally don't want to remember, to forget, because I need to remember to be someone better. But I completely understand our circumstances are different.
You have changed so much in the last 20 years. You have changed so much for the better, and we can all see it, I'm sure. I do not know the rest of these friends nearly as well. It's only been a few days, but honestly, we only had about a week or so together anyway, and I can tell the difference, and so I think it is fine. As far as my memories are concerned, I get flashes here and there. That is as bad as I ever want it to be. But thank you for trying. Thank you for offering.
You hear from the next door room over.
I hadn't wanted to mention it, but I was curious. Your voice earlier did shift slightly, and I remember was that how you spoke when we first met?
The first time.
Yes. I hadn't really sort of noticed that your accent had changed, but it's quite remarkable.
It's not perfect, but I've been practicing.
Mind if I ask where it's from?
Since we are in all of this together, and I feel I can trust you all, it is put on. This is not real. That sounds ridiculous. It's not real. But it is as close as I can to try to blend in with my new family and be accepted as best as I can. My old family is in my past.
We're all going to be better people than we were.
Indeed.
And again, fist bump, yes, that is what I just did for this dramatic moment, yeah.
Listen.
But sorry.
I have learned this to be the Eberronian?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Eberronian handshake.
Exactly.
Eberronian handshake.
Anyway, I do.
You hear from a court, like another room, like as he's hearing snippets of it, Inunday suddenly goes, "The path to change is knowing that you don't need to change. You're on the right path. Good job."
Thank you, Inode. And with that, since you are all enjoying tea and rest and everything, and I don't do any of this, I'm going to go sit in the corner and zone out.
Okay, speaking of sitting in the corner and zoning out.
So I'm out under the pastures, quite a distance away from the place, so I don't interfere. And sword is in the dirt. And I'm kneeling down and I'll touch my forehead to the blade, and I will use any sort of ancestral recall, any of my chronomantic powers to try to invoke Chimeras to complain when I'm using the power.
Very good.
I can try to gain an audience with him in any form.
You know, that's so terrible for the blade.
I have a large favor to ask of you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All this, and you have a big favor to ask.
Do you have connection to your kin?
We do not usually speak to one another, but it has happened on occasion, especially in times of great strife, such as now.
The Dragon of Time.
Thalagrantis of the Sapphire.
Can you commune with him?
I can attempt to. Not all of my kin are as talkative as I am.
When the time comes, one of our companions has had memories removed or I gauge tampered with. Vital information about what happened to cause this entire problem. We might need Thalagrantis to intervene and read the temporal secrets that lie within, witnessing a point in her past. And I ask the favor, we may need to return to Imaria at some point for this. Unless there is a sage of equal proportion in Kronos that can do the same.
The only one who could do such a thing would be the wielder of Sapphire, but they are engaged in battle. I could communicate with Thalagrantis, but the energy necessary would be costly. You must lend me power from your blade.
When the time comes, I'm willing to do so.
Very well. I shall make the arrangements.
And as you open your eyes, you see Merrick's is right there, and he taps the stone against your sword and says, "Hey, you gotta check this out, Big C." Showing Merrick's and
Very far away.
the devourer.
I'll spend the rest of the evening just enjoying the landscape of Elmister's home, and then I'll walk around. If there are farmers and stuff, I'll just walk around.
I think the thing that you might find the most interesting to you is the night sky. It is far clearer than you remember seeing it of your own world, and the moon shines down brightly, not to be considered a threat, and various celestial objects trail along the moon, glistening in the light.
Beautiful. I'll just speak to the local inhabitants, get to know them. Just nice things. And then
You also notice that there are several signs on the path leading to the tower that mainly refer to bodily harm of trespassers and such and so forth.
And there's a little pool beside the tower. And
probably see a sign, Baldur's Gate. Someday. Turns around and goes back.
One thing, last thing I'll do as we turn in for the night is I'll continue reading from the Book of Exalted Deeds to try finishing it.
Sure, yes.
How close
You can do a story hour? Because I'd listen to you read a book. Your voice is very soothing.
So
it
gather around.
It is a very big book.
I have had.
Took away another grain of sand, and then
He has had quite a long
It is a very big book.
I roll to see how much I can finish reading.
Yeah, roll a d20.
All right.
Natural 20.
Come on, maybe
It's like 20 pages.
7.
7 more pages.
I read 7 more. Okay. Fantastic.
It's very, very, very tiny font. You have to
Well, you gotta think about it. I mean, you gotta let it soak.
There's also
in.
that too.
can't
Yeah,
just
it's not something you can just.
Yeah.
You have to absorb the information.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sound good.
Not everyone can speed read.
So is
It's
everybody
not
good?
big
We
ass,
long rest
gaspy.
and we go.
That's up to the old DM.
Yes, you may finish your long rest in the safety of probably the most safest location in all of Toril.
Yes.
then farm fresh eggs,
Of course.
mushrooms, sizzling.
Roast axe beak.
Okay.
I really like this place, El.
Yeah, I'm sort of attached to it myself. And if Storm was here, we'd have a really good breakfast. I have no idea what the Harper's over there. It could be just trail eggs.
Yes.
You heat the shield in the fire, you singe the eggs on top of the shield, you scrape them off into your mouth. Could be that bad, or it could be really good. But we could always have good turtle soup.
Mm-hmm. I think it's more about the butter, right?
It's the butter.
It's how much butter you put on the
It's the
shield.
butter, yeah.
Right. Well, if everyone is rested, shall we head to our next location?
Well, we need to get there. So we need to get to Krynn, but we need to get to a very specific location.
The
What
two,
is Krynn like?
two locations are the Sea of Blood, or specifically a small area in the Sea of Blood. There's some islands and stuff. And Silvanesti, otherwise known as the Bleeding Wood.
The cards definitely pointed to the Bleeding Wood, but everybody can.
None of us are native
Decide.
of Krynn, though.
No, this is not a familiar location.
Getting there
Welcome to my world.
a bit more difficult. Do you have harpers or wizard friends that might be able to give us a hand? And perhaps you may not have been to the Silvanesti woods, but the harpers may have. From what you told me about them, they are quite
They're everywhere.
pretty much.
Well, there was one of them who was spying on Fizban a while ago. But would Fizban have got anywhere near that wood? Like me, he was more a cities guy because he was trying to find individual people. And they weren't usually Silvanesti elves who, tend to live in harmony with the land and behave themselves. We were always interested in crazy mages like us or baddies. So we didn't, But I'm sure that Maple's notes could give us a rudimentary map of Krynn.
Yes.
Yes, we have a map.
So what cities are nearby?
The Silvanesti?
Yeah.
I mean, Silvanesti itself is depending on. It's. I mean, it's not exactly a place you would want to go in immediately, but how close you're trying to get as
We need
close
to
as
get to the
possible.
point.
Well, yeah, look what happened last time I went into an elf place.
I either need a city,
Yeah.
or I need
Friend,
a height, like a mountaintop
Nice
or
recovery.
weather top.
I'm recovered.
That I can find some illustration of, or someone who's been there, whose mind I can, with their permission, of course, rummage just long enough to get an image of
Well,
it.
you have plenty of books in this place, right? You sure you don't have an image of a forest?
Oh, I have plenty of images of forest, but they tend to be of Faerun.
Would
Not-
Candlekeep have anything?
How much time do you want to waste going through there?
I don't know.
Well, we don't have much time.
So I mean, Silvanesti is a very big place. There are cities and things outside of its borders,
Yeah.
as well as areas around it's on the coast, so areas around the coast as well.
So why not pick a prominent spot on the coast, like a cape or a cliff that overlooks things, and use that as our place to plane shift to?
Sure.
I don't know how the spells work.
There is also the option of going back to Fell as well.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, in that case,
But yeah, if you would like to try and find like a specific place.
I can do something.
Okay.
I think if I'm pretty sure that I am able to do this.
I was gonna say the biggest city is gonna be Peshin, which is
a well
But it
away.
means
not
that
the
I'm-
closest.
I'm going to have to draw upon my power, my heart now, and then not have use of that again.
For how long?
But I can bring us right there, I think.
Basic life support is stable. It just draws.
Perhaps if you
higher
would enlighten us with what you
energy
plan to do, we might be able to help give you advice on whether
Like
it is
right to
wise
the
to do
card.
so or not.
Okay.
I don't think right to the card, but I can definitely get us there based on the rules as written.
Yeah, I mean,
Gate?
Gate.
yeah, just doing a quick check and saying, yeah, no, I see. I think
So
again,
I can
Power, but-
basically the way
I believe you just designate a spot.
I
and it
designate
just
a
takes
spot,
you
and I don't have to know it.
Oh,
there. Yeah, that's right.
so as close as
And
possible to where.
Yeah.
It's my
You
ninth
want to
level.
read my scroll and do it, rather than
Well, why don't you read your scroll then?
okay?
I mean,
Well, because you don't know
because
the spot
the
as
way
well as she does.
well,
Yes.
I know the spot because I located
Yes.
the
Right.
location.
You have the data from
That's
the
true.
planner.
Well, then, okay, we're going to do this in the. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you see, as Elise starts to create like this weird whirling, you kind of saw it that before, but you were engaged in whatever, and a dark like rolling mist that looks like bats like flying and like turn into mist appear, and everybody. You're going to come with me and just follow the path that I walk through this gate. Do not divert, or you will be lost in another place you don't want to be.
I've done this before.
I don't think you have.
Merrick's definitely looks kind of a little pale, like
You
to a
know it.
degree
You
Yeah.
recognize
Oh yeah, no,
this.
absolutely. Yeah.
You recognize this.
Hold on.
Kind
What
of takes this out.
exactly are you doing?
We are taking a shortcut into a shortcut to this forest, and
apparently.
trust me, it'll work.
We're
It is a safe path, apparently.
Oh, you didn't miss.
Follow the path.
Just follow me.
just follow the.
And you basically, as you do this, everybody's going to take a very quick step into a very bad place you don't want to be in, then step right back out of the mist into
For but a moment, the sky is dark, the ground is rotten, undead walk the lands, and a werewolf lunges for you, and then it's no longer there.
But then apparently we're in a bloody forest.
Right, so
Merrick's would have actually produced light from the thing he's been carrying, which he's never done. He's like, well, it still does that. But just as you pass through, puts it away.
entering into Silvanesti, at least as close as you could get to the exact location of where we're getting the card emanations from. You are surrounded by cracked, rotting trees. The trunks are evilly twisted, and the gnarled roots clutter the ground. A river runs nearby, but is thick with ooze, sludging along instead of flowing like water. A tower stands nearby, withered and tumorous, as if a pulsating limb of grotesque necrotic flesh. All of that is the backdrop, however, to the absolute chaos that has enveloped this location. Red dragons and creatures of similar size and shape, but a little bit longer, ridden by knights emblazoned in red scale armor, are swirling around in the sky as a contraption ablaze with fire. Two long wings, some sort of spinning mill at the front and fangs at the back, circles around some sort of swivel wand-like device, firing off projectiles at these dragons as it swivels around, and you can just hear emanating from it a tiny voice screaming.
Screaming what?
Just like...
Well, scream of rage or pain?
Both.
Okay.
Oh, both fear and
Elise
rage.
does not know what this is, but Elisa kind of does it. My goodness. Okay.
You know what? I'll make this easy for you. Oh boy, that looks like a Serraine biplane.
That's exactly what I said.
It appears to be a Serraine biplane on fire. Moving way faster and more efficiently than it ever should be capable of doing. But it also, that effect you've seen. And then, of course, there are dragons and all sorts of other creatures in the sky flying around and darting as this thing is.
So are we appearing like on like a cliff face to watch this, or are we just in the middle?
You're just surrounded, just in the middle of the woods with a river of ooze and a pulsating, pustuling tower, and then all this is happening in the sky above you.
What is it shooting at?
The dragons.
At the dragons.
And the dragonelles and the riders and such.
And the red dragons?
Yes, they are.
Right, to the tower.
Well,
To the
is that
tower?
where we need to go?
It doesn't matter right now. We need to get to some place that's not underneath that.
Let's go.
Based on the... how familiar are you with Serraine?
Not too familiar. I think I dipped into it exactly once.
Very good. So Serraine is... they have it's fine. You would at least recognize what it is.
Yeah.
And that it is definitely of Mystara in origin.
That plane's from my planet.
What do you call it?
That
Plane.
plane.
It's from your plane.
For your plane.
That
Plane
vehicle
is
is
from
from
the
your
plane.
plane?
To the tower, away from it.
Okay, great.
And then we'll talk.
All right.
And as we're running, I'll be like,
It's a very strange contraption in the sky. It was
Plane?
Yeah.
German and American. No, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm fascinated.
is it an airship from your plane?
No, I mean, it is some kind of airship, it's sure. From a different plane, apparently.
No.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. No, we're running. I mean,
Are
actually,
you
I
saying
would
that
say...
you call the plane that we are on an airship?
For the love of all that is immortal and holy, just run!
I do think it is definitely the case that Merrick is stopping and like looking at it and actually like making some sketches, and you're just like yank.
Just
Come on!
record it for
So late.
hobbyist.
Well, it's sort of like, apocalypse now. I'm not going. I'm not going.
I want to do this so bad.
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Do you see that? No, right.
What is an
Well,
airship?
Now, what is a plane?
Hey, why not?
Right.
You have the powers, use them.
I love how you're wasting your soul.
I have to.
Right, technically it's a biplane, because it's got two wings, one on top of the other.
You're buying the. Oh no, God! I don't.
Oh,
I see what you're saying.
I thought he buys
I thought you were
planes all the
buying planes,
time.
Yeah, I have a few. It's true.
Right. That's what we call it.
An airship.
It's first time. It's not.
It's a
It's
rival
not an
Baron.
airship.
Red
They work
Baron.
entirely differently.
Is in the air.
Shoot.
Okay, well, I mean that part we
Oh,
can see. All right.
I've been
What kind of
on.
airship?
So it's the plane of air.
Imaria.
It's if you would like a term, it's Blackmoor technology.
It's the plane of air is what we are saying.
I know. I'm just saying.
A plane of air sounds better than like a
I
plane
would
of
get
fire.
It works.
Talking.
You know what? It's too complicated to explain how it works to someone who has no idea what I'm talking about.
This is why we're trying to figure this out.
It's Mystara.
Oh,
How dangerous? I'm assuming by your.
It can take on a dragon.
Okay, well, sounds like we can't do that as easily.
I mean, we have.
Right. The last thing you want to do is fight these things one-on-one. You need a biplane or a supposed dragon of your own. Or
Well, he's
Get one of the
defeated
planes
the
that you have bought.
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll talk about this. I mean, I'm very curious.
the tower.
I gotta
thank
go.
you very much.
I want to go back to
Rocket
Mystara. Is all we're saying. You know, when we get a chance here.
not at that point in
Okay,
Mystara.
okay.
All right.
Are there any preparations we need to make on our way to the tower?
Just run, keep your head down, and hide under the canopies.
All right.
Thank you very much for your time.
Locate object.
It's in the plane.
All right. Oh.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
in the
I mean,
plane.
You tell me.
I'll
I
definitely.
will say, but it's in the plane. We can't go to the tower. It's in the plane.
Haste.
Then we climb up the tower and jump on the. I don't know. Let's just find cover.
You got a
first.
broom.
Oh, I do have a room.
We're running.
Yeah,
As the
you're,
tower-
you're,
we're
at the,
yell
you're
running.
at the tower at this point.
Okay, so we.
And you've got a broom.
So you're in front of a tower that's just going, and like you can see veins and flesh and pustules. One of them bursts and
Oh, I
pus
don't want
spewes
to
down
go
the
in
side of it.
Is this part of Mystara?
No. Well.
No,
see the
that's just
entire-
Silvanesti.
I've seen those movies.
I haven't seen my entire planet, and never mind both worlds, but
Your airship. Okay. No. Sorry. Let's keep going.
If I may ask,
Flames spew out, completely enveloping the plane, but the plane is on fire. It just continues burning from like, and the dragon's blood and scales rip out of it as it
What
roars
is the
and
plane
siros away.
made out of?
do I look like a technician to you?
Wood, metal,
I mean, you've probably seen and heard of them, but I don't think you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're not an engineer.
It's
is it
just
made out of your red steel or?
I'm a doctor.
it's Blackmoor technology. I barely understand how it works.
Can we?
Can we visually see if it looks
Well,
like it's made out of?
if I may suggest something,
It would appear to be made out of like metal.
So if like somebody was to say maybe
It's
cast a
also
heat
on fire.
metal.
It's also on fire and. All right.
so I have an option on how to get there.
Yeah.
Perhaps not a retreat afterwards.
I
That
can
is-
do that.
It flies.
Well, true. However, if you are open to it, something as long as you also know exactly where this card or approximately
I
on
know exactly where it is.
where it is, I can astral project us directly into that.
All of us?
I can take all of us.
How fast can you move when you're doing that? The thing's like.
And I can dimension door us 700 feet.
It does.
But
Like
maybe
one of us in it.
It's on fire.
yeah.
Let's see.
I'm just saying, if somebody misses and they're
That
falling,
makes sense.
I have feather fall. Don't worry.
While they're all having this discussion, what's gauging its speed? Is it going?
Oh, sorry, I cannot do that. It is a range of.
Is it going about the same speed as what Banco could do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
60.
I'm doubling. I can go 100 right now.
I would say because it is dipping and diving and angling itself
Within tip.
around the dragons, if you were to beeline for it on Banco, you could probably reach it, but that thing could easily outpace your Pegasus if it were to go in a straight line.
I got a broom. I got a speed of 100 right now.
That might do it.
I mean,
100 with both your actions?
no, like 200 both my actions.
Then you
I got
can
hits
definitely
going on.
keep up with it.
So I'm gonna actually head up there and turn invisible because Stinky can keep that up and just basically say telepathically, "Keep you posted. Let me know what you think."
Hold on. You try and get close and take one of your what are they called? The ones with the stones and the pictures. The
Sensory stone.
right. Try try to do one of those. If we get a closer look at it, we can find any weaknesses.
So I am going to basically, again, like I said, normally people would say, but wait a second, you can't turn invisible and be faced in at the same time, but you hear a lot as invisibility. And so I disappear as I head up, and I'm heading there full speed, which is 200 if I'm
Okay,
if
you're
I'm
gonna have
trying
to.
attack.
Yeah, it's the only way you're gonna be able to get up there. So you're like, and I'm gonna need you to make some dexterity save to avoid dragon fire.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable.
But astral projection doesn't say, like, it doesn't specify that you.
So here's the problem.
Yes.
I would say going to the astral plane and coming back is fine. You're going to be going wherever. You're going to say, well, I'm going to come out around there. But by the time you've done that, the plane's well over there.
Anybody?
Because it's not an instantaneous thing.
His dimension dooring us is like he can door us, and
You
then
can
like
you can dimension door to the plane, but
the
then
plane's gone.
the plane will continue moving, and you would need to find a way to,
As a mode of insurance for him, I'll don Banquo and beeline for the plane as well.
Okay, you're lagging quite a little bit behind, but at least you are
I'll cast
within the
Launch
vicinity.
Strider
Okay.
on Banquo.
Okay.
All right, so couple things. I had to burn a couple resources. 21, 22, 24, 19. Sort of going through a bunch of different things. So 19 is my lowest, but that is also the fourth time I've made 4 saving throws to get to a 19.
So you're making 4 saving throws.
Yep.
The 19 is going to be pretty low. And then what were the other 3?
21, 22, 25.
Okay, so those are 3 successes, and then 1 failure. So,
Does anybody have?
Can't win them all.
you are going to get pretty roasted for a total of 157 fire damage.
How
That
much?
is very roasted.
From multiple dragons breathing fire, from wormlings to adults to the dragonelles, and also just fire like spells going off from the riders of the dragons. But if you survive that,
I do.
then you will make it to the plane, whereupon you can see there appears to be a very diminutive fellow, gnomish in appearance, with big aviator goggles and flight cap, who is just screaming as he's like, "Ah!" And he's trying to steer around, and he's rotating this machine as it unloads more projectiles into the dragons, and the whole plane is on fire.
From the ground, really quickly, when I see this fire envelop Merrick's, I cast Death Ward on myself. Enough of this.
And for the record, it's certainly like, since these are multiple things, like the first one comes and it just takes off my little shield, and I'm like, that's not so, what hurt? And I do have 6 hit points, so I mean, I made that, but it's not great.
Would it be safe to say that I could just float behind the trail so that I catch the end of each of those flames, so that they're shooting at him, and I'm just kind of like using that as an excuse?
They're not really shooting at him. It's more so just it's everywhere, and he's just having to like duck and weave and avoid.
Well, I need to do the same then?
Well, you're slower, so you actually have more time to avoid. He's just gunning it. Is the problem?
So both of them are
frankly,
going
invisible,
directly
you
to
wouldn't even
this.
know where I was.
Wait, how are they getting on? I didn't catch that. Sorry. Onto the plane?
No, it's
He's flying. He's got a sky staff.
We're not
Oh, okay.
So getting up next to the plane, the gnome kind of does just continue on now. He obviously doesn't know you're there.
Yeah, is there a place I missed? Like, can I actually stand on the plane, or
It is on fire, but yes.
Again, having a moment, I will just say, if there is a round, I am definitely bonus action putting back up my temporary hit point shield, and I will very quickly cast a high level cure wounds to not be instantly dead the next time something hits me.
Sure.
So 25. 20. So I'm grabbing 34 hit points back.
Okay.
And then
And you're keeping pace, weaving and ducking and moving alongside the plane as it zooms around this battlefield.
And so basically, I'm staying close to the plane. I will do as suggested, well, actually, I mean, honestly, I don't think the sentry stone, I have to pass to them, but I will describe it over the link.
Sure.
So, what should I be looking for? I'm going to tell you, you tell me what I should be looking for, and I'll tell you what I'm seeing here. There's a gnome.
And I will say, the longer you spend here, the more fire
of course.
How many dragons are in the sky?
There are currently 4, and then there are, In terms of red dragons, there's like one big one, and there's like a bunch of dragonels and riders on those, and then there's a couple of wormlings flying around as well. It's a decent-sized force.
Oh,
So,
when we're done here, I have a relevant role.
Okay.
so in everybody's head, on the group chat, as we say, I'll say, do you all feel that perhaps this is a case for using a card where we can banish 3 of these dragons temporarily?
How many of them are there?
There are 4.
There are 4 dragons. One big.
Just so that as we're trying to get this card, we are
There's
not
also
frightened.
wormlings and dragonels, but you could get rid of the big, like
The ones that are
bigger
doing
threats.
this?
Hang on, I missed a key question here. I just want to ask. Wait. So the question is, I heard stories about this place. We did talk about it. Dragons are from here, aren't they?
A lot of dragons are from here. Yes.
Do we have reason to believe
Krynn is
these
currently
are?
in some kind of dragon war. The Dragon Queen is invading with her armies of chromatic dragons. This would appear to be one of them.
So, right, but they're still from this plane with
That's right.
banishment work on.
The dragons. Well, yeah,
That's why it's temporary.
you'd be sending them temporarily out to the outer planes or a pocket dimension.
It would give us enough. It would give us enough
well.
time to get the card, and then once we get the card out of here, they'll.
It would get rid of the immediate threat, but you don't know you're going to banish all of
The
them.
cards have 25%.
Alternatively,
Yeah.
the card is in the plane. It's not in the gnome,
Yep, I'm working on that.
right?
Yes,
So
I think I've said it's in the
It's
plane.
in the plane. One would assume the gnome has it.
Okay.
Well,
I'm going.
if we need to go back to Mystara anyway, what if we banish the gnome, not the dragons? That way the problem is dealt with. Dragons hopefully won't get mad at us, and all we have to do is find a gnome in Mystara, and how hard can that be?
I think it's. I feel like I definitely like your breaking the.
You'll know my cousin
Must
Frank.
I remind you that I happen to know an immortal?
I definitely like the way you're thinking, but
I
just
do.
give me literally 6 seconds. Let's say.
Yeah, I was
here
going to say,
to
Marriage
study the
dragons
situation
are approaching, and fire is spewing.
I'll take that hit, but I will say I did an investigation check.
Okay.
And I'll throw detect magic in there too.
Very good.
And I rolled a natural 20.
Okay.
And so that is a 35, including
Okay.
it being a natural 20.
So the plane is not magical.
Mhm.
It's there is a spot on it though. There's like a little kind of little metal door towards the back, and through the cracks of that metal door, you're getting some magic radiating out. And you're getting a few little bits here and there where there does appear to be some magic using. In fact, it's actually quite fascinating.
No, it's very fascinating.
They
I'm
got like
trying
magic
to
in there.
draw my attention though, but what I'm going to report is like I think I can get a shot at this, but someone help me stay alive would be great.
The flames are also magical. It's not dealing damage to the plane. The plane is just on
Interesting.
fire. But you also see, and we're going to take some liberties because you're an artificer, you're
Sure.
Merrick's Decanic.
And I'm using
you know some things.
the
You know what a fuel gauge kind of would look like. And you can see it's like so far across on the full that it's like off where it should have any measure, and it's just staying there. It's like the gnome appears to have like he's basically just trying to steer, and he doesn't.
So it's almost as if a comet is powering this plane and
You
driving
might
it at a
say that,
speed.
but you can also see that on the gnome's person there is a jacket, like a flight jacket with breast pockets.
I will say, again, I assume, action economy, like, I'm not just going to be able to instantly grab the card, but when I have an opportunity to try and grab the card after the next round of
Yes.
stuff happens, I am going to be being conscious of the gnome because I don't know if he's going to disappear or just the plane will disappear. And I'm saying, should the plane disappear, I will try and grab the gnome. I don't want to just drop a guy.
I'll need a dex save from you for some fire.
Sure.
I didn't get an answer about this banishment of the dragons.
I'm for it.
Is everybody agree? Because we agreed that everybody would have to agree.
I am just going to quickly say cards we believe have approximately, let's call in units, 25 units of power. I think just using one of 25 is acceptable.
I don't know the consequences of this. I can't make an informed decision.
This is a card from Toril. I just want to be sure.
Is it the void card?
Yes.
Very good.
I do believe that
That doesn't necessarily mean it has Toral's magic in it though,
that was very
because the ruin
Oh,
card
that's right.
was found on Athas
So
but has
confusing.
Eberron's magic in it.
What magic was in the void card? Where did we?
You never checked.
Where was it?
That's true.
It's the one we found in Shadowdale with that creepy little.
It's the one that I grabbed.
Yeah,
Right,
it's the one with that little
It was a halfling who was screaming
halfling guy
about
that
the
was being
cold riders.
tortured.
Yeah, okay, we don't know. But I say do it, and please quickly, because I just rolled a 20.
Okay, fine.
22? Okay. That's good.
I brandished the card.
And it should be noted, I've been having a bunch of flashes of genius here. I'm like, oh wait, fire, trying, oh quick,
That's
speed up the
28.
turbo boost.
That's 28 fire damage.
Okay, all right, hold up.
Was still okay.
This is tough.
So Elise is going to hold up the void card, and you're going to choose the 3 biggest targets or the smallest targets, or what do you?
The 3
do you
that
go
are
for the
active.
Dragonels and let the riders fall, or what do you?
Oh no. Whoa.
Big dragons breathing fire, please.
I'm going for the dragons.
Okay, I'm just saying because
that are
the bigger you go, the harder it's going to be for it to work.
Fair enough.
There's a DC.
Right.
It was a DC
Charisma
17.
DC 17. Charisma save.
I think I still have to try to go for the dragon. That's the immediate threat is being being roasted.
Okay. Not a problem. DC 17. One of them pops out of existence.
All right, that's still 1 of 3.
That then causes some disturbance among the Red Dragon army as they immediately see one of their big hitters has just vanished. And there's a pause for a moment, and I'll say that also grants Merrick's a little bit of breathing room because they're not initially going on the offense because what was that? Was that the gnome? What's going on here?
I'm going to cast haste upon myself. And I'm going to grab this broom that is not a broom and
Swiffer.
exactly and beeline towards Merrick.
Is there any chance that there's an additional room there?
I mean, if you can grab on before I lift off, that's up to you. I don't think I'm asking.
Give me a dex save. You can see invisibility. Am I remembering?
I can,
correctly?
as long as I'm good at hearing people who are invisible. That's pretty much it.
I
See
see.
through it.
I mean, you can make your way up to the gnome at the very.
Well, I mean, that's the point. You know I'm at the plane.
Yeah.
You head for the plane.
Actually,
That was a dex save or?
Yes, dex save. Well, because if it's a reaction, it's a save.
I'm gonna use the key point to.
would it be possible to do a perception check to try and gauge where the plane will be as soon as I get up there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great.
26.
Yeah, you.
Oh, hello.
32.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to follow the plane's movement, kind of see where, kind of following how its pattern has been and where you think it's going to be, and you head for that direction. Basically, you could collide into it if you wanted to, or you could come up alongside it if you wanted to.
I'm going to. It's on fire.
It is on fire.
I'm gonna.
Let me drop onto it.
I was gonna actually pass it on to you. I was literally just gonna say, it's yours now, and I'm going to jump on the back of the plane.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I am resistant to fire now.
Okay.
Where am I on this whole thing? Because I've been.
You're on the tower.
What?
Merrick's is flying up around near the
I was in a Pegasus.
Oh, you're on the Pegasus. Yeah, sorry.
Long
Yeah.
before all this.
You are in the Pegasus. You're on the
I don't know where I'm
Pegasus.
going here.
You're on the Pegasus. Well, you've just been following.
I know it's
behind,
pretty complicated. Right
You've been following behind Merrick's this whole time.
Okay, so where's
Well, behind the plane. So Merrick's is right next to the plane, and that's now where the two of them are. And then you're still kind of way in the back because you can't keep up with them, so you have to like keep kind of diving and dipping and gaining to get around to where they are. You're not invisible, however.
It's fine.
So the Red Dragon army has taken an interest in you, and a couple of them have peeled off to go and investigate this big, shiny paladin that looks like he might belong to the Solantic Knights.
Which is what they're battling.
That's the good guys.
Oh, that's the good guys. Okay.
They don't like the good guys.
They don't like the good guys.
That's right.
Yeah, the bad guys. Yes.
The good guys look like knights and tend to be paladins, so they're veering off. So you have two Dragonel riders who are coming up alongside your flanks.
And I'm not able to keep up with the plane.
That's right, but they're able to keep up with you on their Dragonels.
Right.
Do the dragon fires count as missiles?
No.
Damn it.
How far away is the plane?
It varies, obviously, because it's veering
Sure.
around, but roughly 100 feet. Although, if are you at the top of the tower, or are you're still at the base of the tower?
Just checking.
I'm at the base of the
So
tower,
then
but I do
about
have
100.
my broom.
About 100 feet, yeah.
Just checking, not to be a jerk about it or anything. Did they have to make any saving throws or?
Yeah, I was going to say you can make an acrobatics to land on the plane.
Well, I was worried more about fire.
I think
We're going to get to that.
There was a pause because of the thing.
Because I also think, because I predicted I was.
Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah, let's.
Everything is so whack.
There's a lot happening now. Let's roll initiative.
So many things have happened outside of
Would you like the initiative roll
sequence
first?
now that
Well, he does the thing.
Yeah, he
Oh, yeah,
does our initiative.
We're all good, buddy.
Do you have it? Are you looking at it? Because, I mean...
yeah.
What?
10 for Mystara, 5 for Elise, 6 for Inodai, 14 for
Allender.
18 for Merrick's, 12 for me.
Is that?
Puts me at 25.
Do we have the +7 this time?
You're not with
No,
You're on the plane.
nobody is. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're not. Okay.
Nobody is within 10 feet of Lovold other than the Pegasus.
So that's a 10 for me.
10 total.
Yeah, 10 total.
Okay.
20.
20 for Merrick's.
18 for me.
18 for Alinder. What do we have for Elise?
5.
5. Loholt
25.
and Elminster. 14. Okay then, Loholt. So, these two Dragonels and their riders have come up alongside you. The armored figures dressed in red plate, looking over, and it looks like they're getting ready to move into an attack.
Before I care about these Dragonels, I've been watching information as we go along. And the information that we've heard through the grapevine is that it is on the plane somewhere, and that you identified where it is on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know where it is. There's a compartment. I'm thinking I'll try and sort of open it so you can, since you're fire resistant and on the plane, like, that you can.
Oh, I thought I got the feeling that the little guy had it.
We
find out.
thought that, but I was finding magic, and it was in the fuel tank. I mean, it all adds up. It's in the fuel tank. It's zooming the plane the airship very fast. I think it's in that little container right there.
Worst comes to worst, if I have to go inside the plane there is no fire.
Yeah.
I don't mind that, to be honest.
Basically, I think I know where the card is, and there's 2 of us in the vicinity. Three of us.
I mean, we can all
In the
talk in
vicinity
our
of
heads, so do I know if it's in the plane or on the guy's in the pocket? The vest pocket?
The issue is because you're not like right there and it's moving very fast, so you know it is like the plane, but I don't think you could get enough of a bead
Okay.
on the
But
moving
in
card.
terms of detecting magic, the cards are magic, correct?
They are.
So I've detected them on magic before.
I think you could
detect
safely
magic
assume-
and analyze. I said, oh, there was a small compartment that seems to be radiating magic. I didn't get a read on him, did I?
No.
So I think,
okay.
like I said, I think I got it.
Interesting.
Plus, it's like plane powered by Comet, and we're looking for the Comet card. I think
Sure.
it's in that little container.
Okay. And to get a situation on the rest of the flying gnome world, there are these 2 Dragonels, which I actually don't know what those are, but little dragon rider.
They are. So Dragonel is sort of an elongated,
Oh, I know what that is. That's what Roessa
elongated
down
dragon
one shot.
creature.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So there's little elongated dragons, and they've got human riders.
Humanoid. They're in full plate, decked out.
But I see like eyes. I don't.
Yeah,
see,
yeah, yeah.
I don't see like sunken hollows or blown.
They don't appear to be undead. No.
Okay. And there's 2 of them on me, and then there's this large dragon that winked out of existence.
Yep. And then there's 2 like sort of smaller ones, but they're not dealing with you. They're currently still going after the plane.
And there's
It's
a
the
big,
riders who have come down to deal with.
and there's one more big one, or did they all wake up?
There
You hit
was
3
only
targets.
there was only one big one.
And
that
that
has
winked
waked
out.
Yes.
And then there were okay, I see.
There were 3 dragons. One of them is gone.
And these Dragonels are coming to the left and the flank of me. Left and the right.
That's right.
They are flanking you, you might
They are
say.
essentially flanking me. They're going to try and like attack me or something. Okay. I would like to. Sorry, visualizing, folks. I would like to. They're coming in. Is there any way that I can make a ride like a mounted combat? I guess it would be the equivalent of an athletics stat check.
What are you trying to do?
Or a performance. I'm trying to make it look like I'm trying to outrun them.
I see.
In the last minute, I'd like them both to come in. I don't think they'll be foolish enough to collide, but I need them to get within a cone burst
You want to get them like around in front of you.
So you're zooming, they're following, and then you're going to put on the brakes, and
You're going to hit the brakes and let them go forward so they're ahead of you.
Is that a deception check?
I don't think so. I think
That's a maneuveration.
I think that's more like. I mean, I'd be inclined to say animal handling.
Animal handling is
Right.
that is a thing. I'm going to reach into my ancestral recall on that one. For sure.
Remembering the Linvander was a fantastic aerial jockey.
All right, let's try an animal handle. That's not the worst. 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, I mean, you are riding an animal that is very familiar with you and that is willing to do what you command. So as you are able to rear back, you stop, and the two of them keep going before they get a second to realize what's happening.
And I would like to know if them and the other dragons that are flying in, how many of them can I get in a 30-foot cone coming up?
In a 30-foot cone, you could get both dragonelles, both riders, and let's see, and one of the dragons.
Okay. Okay. So then I'd like them all to make wisdom saves as I brandish my sword and make it glow hot amber, and I will use the sword's innate power to cast fear on them. On all of them. I know the dragons may not have it, but
You actually got the dragon.
that's good.
The dragonelles are going to get 15 and an 18.
That's 2 fails,
Okay. And then the riders
which is less important now.
are going to, really, are going to get 16 or lower.
So everything is immediately stricken with fear and must use their actions to dash away from me. And if I could, basically I didn't do any movement, I just stopped.
I mean, theoretically, you're moving back a little bit.
Yeah, I want to then blow past them and turn around so that my back is against the plane.
Okay.
So that they have to dash away from me and therefore away from the plane.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Good call.
And
So yeah, you see the guards sort of rattling as they begin to yank on the reins and veer themselves around, because right after your turn, it's all of them. So they just flip around.
Awesome. Smart.
All right, that was great.
Yes. Which then takes us to Merrick's.
You've had messed with the fang of this dragons.
I realized high-speed flying. I should have put my goggles on, start. So, okay, we're a little more comfortable there.
I'll pick a few less bugs.
Again, I'm fascinated by the design of this. It's very different, but I do understand airships, aerodynamics, engineering, all of these things. So I'm understanding the basic principles. And
I should also point out that Ellender has just leapt on top of the plane.
understood. And I am pretty confident that we've already established it is propelled at an unusual amount that seems beyond its usual structural capability. The flames are not burning it, i.e. comet. So I'm pretty confident the card is essentially in the fuel tank, what I am analyzing to be the fuel tank. Does it look like, basically I'm zooming alongside it, like trying to get there. Does it look like it is something I could open, or... Essentially, my question is, should I just try and grab it, or am I better off like trying to open the container so Elendil can grab it?
It definitely looks like it's something that you could open, like it's designed to be open, but it is latched, and it is moving very fast.
And so that's sort of my thought, was to try and do something like to the latch to open, and hit it with an Eldritch Bolt or something to get it open so that you can hopefully get it. And I'm relaying this like, okay, there's a container. I'm going to try and get the hatch open. Do you think you can get there?
I think you would believe that to be a far higher chance of success than you trying to.
I'm not going to thieves to what?
Yeah.
High speed on the side of a thing. So I am going to.
Imagining like Tom Cruise, like.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
do all my own stuff.
I feel like Flame Bolt might not be the best choice, even if it's a magic fuel or something. Just my gut tells me. So I am going to be using Eldritch Bolt.
Okay.
And I get 4 shots.
One of them's got to do it.
All right. Well, first one was a 1. You kicked it out in the back of the head.
Hit Elender.
Second one was
No.
is a natural 20.
Well, I'd say that-
You don't do anything down the midline, do you?
So, but the first shot, it's the whole thing is moving around. You're
You
goes
have to
wide.
get used to the plane moving around.
Second one, you start doing all kinds of mental calculations.
Yep.
Friday.
The me with the
And
And
you
the latch
need me to keep
flies
going,
off.
or yeah,
No,
got a couple more
the
shots.
door flings open on the fuel tank.
So
And the gnome's like, what?
yeah, I'm moving. I took an action. I have a. Let me just click.
Does that reveal you?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm suddenly appearing.
What? What? Reacts to seeing the two of you come up. Ah!
Hello.
Help!
That would be
Oh,
fun.
do you want to have fun?
Are you part of an order?
Okay, I am just going to, as my action, basically be mentally communicating with you, saying, okay, here it is. It's right down there, I think. Oh, in fact, actually, what I'm going to do is toss you, reach back, grab out, and I'm going to toss you a rope of climbing, which is, animated rope, just to try and help you,
Lasso myself to this thing.
yeah, get on down there. And, again, and saying it's right down there. Good luck.
Help! After Merrick's is Elinder. So, how's that acrobatics check?
That was back when I rolled it. That was a 23.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you land and immediately grab hold of the plane.
Yep.
You are resistant to fire, so you're only going to take half of the fire damage
Oh yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine.
from the plane that is on fire. You're looking at half a 25, so that's not too bad.
That's not too bad at all.
About 12-ish. So
Better than Dragonfire.
Yes. Okay. Right. Wonderful. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. I'm going to take this rope of climbing, lash myself to the side, and sort of shimmy down until I can stick my arm.
no, point of order.
With a word, it will automatically anchor it.
That sounds good. Is it fire resistant?
It's magical.
So I'm going to say probably.
I mean,
roughly.
resistant, yes. I don't
Resilient
think,
to
that's what I'm
fire,
saying. I
yeah.
don't think it's completely
No,
fire.
it is starting to
Yeah.
dry out.
It's not like regular, like 50 feet.
That's right. It's not like
No,
a little hemp
but-
rope
but
where
I-
it's just
yeah.
going to combust immediately.
But I do imagine speed is a sense.
Yes.
Certain.
Yeah. All I want to do is use my strength and twist the rope as much as possible just to stick my whole arm into that fuel gauge.
Okay, so you're going to kind of lean down on the side.
Yep.
What are you doing?
I'm trying not to die, honestly.
You're crazy!
Says the one flying a plane here.
At least I went to top ballista!
No.
God,
That's what it's called.
Yes, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Somewhere Merrick's is like, damn.
I'll tell you, this Mystara.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty catchy. I could use that.
Top
I'll look
ballista.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm
Go
making one of
ahead
these when we get home.
And give me sleight of hand.
And I'm just saying, whatever it is, I am just going to actually cast basically a stabilizing charm on you, just to help you stay sane. So that's a +6.
It's a pretty darn good roll unless you're 19.
I don't know. You
That's
need
the
any
same
help.
thing I rolled during this acrobatics check before. That's a 23 again.
Okay.
With the +6?
Plus
or-
6.
6, that's 29.
Reaching into the plane's compartment, you do feel around and you do feel something slightly thin and metallic. Feels familiar.
Ooh.
All right,
Yeah.
I got it.
Pull it out.
What happens when he touches?
Got it.
Are you are you grabbing it, I assume?
I just before I do, I'm message.
I got you.
Right, somebody better have, because if this plane vanishes,
I
I'm
got
dead.
you.
We're on it.
Put
we're on
on
it.
your panties.
Don't have a pair, and then
Don't worry.
Take a pair.
no, I didn't. And I'm gonna grab the card and just yank it out.
Didn't I give you a token, though?
You did, and I used it.
Oh, you're right. All right.
Pull the card and immediately the plane glimmers in light and
Wait.
Okay, does the gnome go?
yes, he does.
Oh.
Then
So as I
Not
see
even a
him
choice,
falling,
so, yeah.
I literally take the broom and I chuck it like a spear to him.
and are you falling?
I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
I got the panties of
Oh, you got pennies of levitation. Got it.
Featherfall, yeah.
So yeah, you are falling and you chuck the
So if I'm close enough, I'll
This
try
guy
to
stuff.
hand it to him.
you're right there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll,
Okay.
I'll pass it into your just. All right, bye.
Gotta put it on your head.
I'm imagining the paint
Those are the rules.
you know, like inflating.
Bye.
I just have a broom.
No, I gave him the broom.
Oh, I'm
I gave him
sorry.
the broom.
Oh, I understood you. It's you.
I thought you
was-
gave him
no.
panties. Never mind.
That is more funny. Bye. Okay, bye.
All right.
Merrick's,
Yes.
you're on your sky staff.
Yep, and we still got dragons.
Yes.
Not afraid of him.
You are now holding on a sky staff, and you are falling.
Yep.
Dragon's gonna just fly under you and open its mouth.
Oh, hello. Oh,
That's a pretty cool
can-
move, I gotta say.
Can we get out of here?
Props to that dragon.
I will spend my reaction and chrono shift it away. See if I can get enough movement out of it to back it away from grabbing him.
It definitely seems
At least this turn.
It definitely seems more confused than anything else.
okay.
And then you just, and then instead it's just gonna, I mean, like it's gonna, and sparks will fly out of its jaw as it attempts
Yeah.
to recharge its breath, but hasn't quite got there yet,
I
unfortunately.
mean, I
Definitely. Going.
was gonna say, I mean, he's watching literally the rest of his family run away from Mr. Glowsword. Who are now chasing them away.
Yeah.
If just over the group chat, I said, if we can all get together, can we just get back to Sigil? Maybe.
I was gonna say, Elminster.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you now. Is your move?
I'm on the ground
Yep, you are.
beside the fleshy tower,
Yes, you are.
and everybody's around here. They're within range. I can just dim door them down to me one at a time. The falling ones, you know, and then
Well, he's not a problem. He'll just fall normally. It's they're all up there.
and he's fine.
Yeah,
So
we're
it's-
fine. Yeah.
It's like just gather
Just
everybody
say, let's,
around.
let's
So you'll
get
hold,
to the
you'll
wizard.
hold the sigil thing? How long does it take to cast the sigil teleport?
That's at least an action. So you can dimension door as an action, and then you could use your thing.
Well, don't dimension it, just hold it, and then we'll get to him, and then when we get to him, we can
Oh,
cast the
that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want to hold the
Hold
teleport.
it. Got it. Yeah.
Hold the sigil to sigil, and then hold the cast.
Mind shout through our group chat. To me!
Okay.
I'm right there.
I'm just gonna skydive.
I would
Yeah.
I would certainly like again, because still on the hasted staff, like you hand the staff, toss the staff to you. You grab the staff. As I'm zooming by, I'm just gonna grab Interday because you're gently floating. I'm
Oh
like,
no! I was gonna use it at the end.
Oh, okay.
I can slow.
You can decide when to activate it. That's fine.
But we don't want the dragons to get another.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
No,
just like
what
let's
I will
go.
do is I have just rolled some recharge dice, and I have no breath weapons to use.
Oh,
Good.
So we'll say you're all able to fly down to Elminster without the dragon.
Yeah, I picture them all kind of like just trying to get, but they can't get close
Don't
enough.
I get
So-
the prismatic spray?
So you can actually, if your speed is 100, you can outfly the dragons.
Yeah.
Currently,
You're
that's
you not so much, but you're not where the dragons were because you're where the
what I'm saying is that I can just picture me flying slowly down with the sword out, just keeping them all at bay.
Yeah.
I get within the
As they're
range of
like-
the spell.
Yep. Get Banquo flying backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we're both hasted on.
Yeah. So we're zooming. Yeah.
So I think you guys could get to us in time before they can even do anything.
that proves to be an interesting new challenge.
All right.
So this is Sigil that I'm holding up.
that's where you're taking them.
We should go there first.
Where do you want to go?
As I'm zooming down,
Away from here.
and the other place on Krynn, it would be fine.
So,
There's
some
another
place
card.
a little more safe would be.
Oh,
nice.
another place on Krynn.
That's anywhere. Just pick a place.
Well, if you're
Safety.
picking a place, pick the sea of blood.
I'm just imagining
Feel
the
bad.
instant we blink away, wherever it is, like the torrent of dragon fire.
Yeah, just
Scorching.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Take us to Sigil. Fel, come bring us back.
Yep. Sigil.
and just as you vanish, dragon fire scorches the ground where you once stood as you lurch through the astral plane back to the very nice city of Sigil. But before we do that, the comet card.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
As an action, you can hold it aloft and call down a fiery meteor to a point you can see within 120 feet of yourself.
We do
Each
that
creature-
all the time.
Within a 20-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a dexterity saving throw, which is a DC of 17, and they will take 6d6 bludgeoning and 6d6 fire damage.
So it's
or
like
half as much.
it's not meteor swarm. It's not
Melts.
It's just
meteors.
Melts meteor meteors.
Yeah, most meteors. It's
Thank
true.
But with that, you do see the familiar vista of Sigil materializing around you.
I'm like putting out flames, doing a little prestidigitation.
Of the hall.
Yeah, the Hall of
You okay?
I hate Krynn.
Well, why is it you see for the first time, like, in a day, who's been fairly calm with her fear, he's just laughing because he's like, that was fun!
Wasn't it though?
Okay, you're really gonna like this place.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No!
Yeah.
Prepare to have your mind blown.
Ugh.